Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Oshina. This is going to be a Q&A video. So I posted about a week ago on my community tab on YouTube to ask me questions because I have a lot of new people. I thought it'd be fun to do one of these videos. I have my iced coffee here with me, so I don't know how long this is going to be. I got quite a few questions and I've kind of categorized them. So I'm going to answer them here. I'll put timestamps for the different categories, and I just want to hang out with you guys. So if you care to get to know me, that's what this video is for. I'm gonna have book recommendations, I'll talk about my faith, I'll talk about my fitness journey, random fun facts, and what it's like being a Christian in Canada. So stay tuned. So I did screenshot all the questions, and some of you asked questions in multiple categories. So I wrote them all down, I highlighted the ones that I'll be answering, and I'll say your username too to like shout you out. So I'm gonna start with the booktube and book questions. So Emily _ the book dragon asked, what's your favorite thing about being a Christian booktuber? And my favorite thing now is just knowing that my videos are making a bigger impact than just entertainment, that they actually bring like spiritual encouragement to other people. That means the most to me now, and that's what drives me to create content, and what I want my videos to be for other people is spiritually encouraging. And whether it's a fun, silly video or if it's a really serious one, I want them to just always have just like this gentleness to my videos. I want you to feel safe and welcomed and like you can trust me. Another question by Bunny Santa Maria is the best thing that's happened to you as a result of starting YouTube? And that's a hard question to answer because I've gained so much confidence in myself. I have really gone through so many like deep seasons of my life through my videos, and I can go back and watch and remember where I was at like mentally or in my life in some of those videos and see where I am now, and just being able to see the growth that I've had and God's faithfulness, seeing the relationships that I've built with other booktubers and with my subscribers. I'm really proud of myself for what I've accomplished here, and it's cool that I get to keep going. Like I don't feel like I'm done here yet, that there is still value that I can bring to booktube in particular, and that yeah, God still wants me here and that you guys still watch. So I don't know if that answers the question, but there you go. So then I got a question from Cherish Nance asking about starting a booktube channel and how to have confidence and starting as a young person. So I would love to speak to that. I will say that one of my good friends on here, Amanda, she did a whole hour-long video sharing Christian booktube advice specifically. Like if you are a Christian and you want to be in the Christian booktube space, her video was excellent. I stand behind everything that she said in that video, so I'll link it down below. But for my own little spin on it, especially if you're younger, like honestly, I think fall in love with it. Like ask yourself why you want to do it, because if you just want like popularity and money and like brands to reach out to you, that's not the advice I can give. That's not what my experience has been, and that wasn't why I started. So if that is what you want, there's other people that recommend those things, and I don't think it's wrong to want those things, but it's also not going to give you the longevity. Because I would just say that start it because you love it, because you love being on camera and talking about books. Like if you love talking about books but you're kind of not really into the filming, you don't like editing, you're not like familiar with uploading and whatever, then you're gonna get burnt out, because all of that extra stuff takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time and a lot of work to actually like get videos onto YouTube. It's not just, oh, I read a book and I want to talk about it. Like you have to put some thought into it and some work. So keep that in mind, and maybe you don't know that you like it until you try. Definitely try, like grab your phone and film yourself talking about a book that you read or all the books you read in the past couple months or whatever, and just see how it feels and have fun. Like it's supposed to be fun. This can turn into a job, but in particular in the Christian booktube space, it's quite difficult for it to turn into a job just because our niche, there's just less brands that want to work with Christian creators than non. It's possible, but yeah, I don't even know if that was advice, but just like do it because you love the whole process. If you just want to talk about books, find another booktuber that you love and just start commenting on their videos, start interacting with them, follow them on Instagram, and like be a part of their space, and then you can like build a community that way. But if you want to start a YouTube channel because it looks fun, it is fun. It's really fun, but it's also a lot of work if you want it to do well. Like you can post a video once a month, sure, but like not that many people are going to watch it. So just know like what you're getting. You do get what you put into it. for the most part. Some people can post and just never grow, and that's just how it goes, and you have to be okay with that and not let it define your identity and your value, and just make friends where they are, which is here in this space. So comment on videos. Okay, another question from the Teaching Romance asked, how do you find time for reading, work, and YouTube? And yes, that's what I was kind of just talking about, that it's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time to make videos like this. And honestly, it's a lifestyle shift. Like, being a booktuber is a lifestyle, and it is constantly in my mind. Like, this is not a side hobby. This is not casual. Like, I am all in with this, and my window's open, so you might hear things outside. If you don't make a plan, like, things will not happen. That's what happens for me. Like, spontaneous posting can be fine. Like, go ahead and do that. But like, if you want to build a community and have consistency and see the views grow and all of that, you have to have a plan. So how do I find time? I schedule myself. I schedule myself. And actually I have another question about that. Oh yeah, Life with Lady 01. How do you keep life organized? What are the systems you use? So I use Notion. Notion is a new addition to my workflow. Basically, I guess last fall is when I really dove into it, and I made myself a Notion, and I have a whole calendar spread, and I schedule myself. And I don't find that limiting. I don't find it hard to follow this plan because I want to do it. Like, I don't know, you've got to make a plan that you actually want to do and not that you think you should do, if that makes sense. So like, if you don't want to make this a whole lifestyle and like think about what videos you're gonna make that week and what books you're gonna read and whatever, if you don't like having that scheduled out, don't do it. But then you won't be consistent. Like, you know, cause and effect. That's all I can say. And yeah, so I use Notion, and basically for timing, like, I have a full-time job, which is one of the other questions that I'll get to, but I have to schedule around that job, but it has consistent hours for the most part. So I'm always reading a book. So I have an audiobook on the go and a physical book. And then for filming, I have basically found myself able to just film on the weekends. So Saturday, Sunday are my filming days. And then if I'm filming a reading vlog, then I can just film whenever, wherever I am. Again, it's a lifestyle. Like right now in this moment, it's a Sunday afternoon. My sister's outside tanning. I wish I could be out there. Like, I want to be out there, but I also don't have a video ready for this week. So I'm filming this, and that's like the sacrifice I have to make, is I'm not spending time with my sister, I'm filming this video. So there is a sacrifice, and for some people it's not realistic. If you have a family, like if you're a parent, you can't really say bye kids. Like, I mean, you could, and then you'd feel guilty as a parent, right? So you've got to make that plan and figure out what works for you. And if it just truly doesn't work to make videos, that's okay. That's how it goes. And it doesn't work for this season. Okay, into more like book specific questions and like book recommendations. So Lauren Jean asked, if you had to pick one fiction book to read over and over, what would it be? This is a good question. And how could I possibly pick? Like, part of me wants to just look at my shelves and like pick one, but you know what? Okay, I just looked at my shelves for like a second. I might pick And the Show Her Blue by Francine Rivers. We're going to be reading it in July, is that right? Yeah, we're going to be reading it in July for the book club. So I'm really curious. I've only read it the one time, and I forget what year I read it in. It was a long time ago. But this impacted me so greatly as a Christian, and I'm highly anticipating reading this again. I can't wait to read it again. And when I think about it, when I look at it, like out of all of her books, this is the one that I feel like has the longevity to still speak to me. This follows a pastor who starts pastoring a small little church, and he grows it into becoming a mega church. And you follow him and his wife and what impacts that has on their marriage and on the church, on the Christian community in that town. It is still so relevant to today as a Christian. Like, I feel like this would just teach me still a lot of things about how to be a Christian in this world. So, okay, another question from the Teaching Romance is, any favorite books of the year so far yet? Okay, other than the Francine Rivers books that I've read, because those are all favorites for sure, I have to say Hidden Places. Can you even see that? Hidden Places by Lynn Austen. I still think about this book. I read it in January. It was 5 stars. I think it was my first 5-star of the year. I just loved this story. Like, it is historical fiction with some like flashbacks, and I loved the flashbacks. I loved the main storyline. I loved the characters. I loved the writing, the romance. It was great. So, okay, Lila's Books asks, what's your most unpopular bookish opinion? It's really hard to know, like, because also I don't want to stir any pots, you know? I'm not a pot stirrer. I stay out of drama, you guys, and I hope that you have noticed that throughout the years. I've been here for 10 years. I just feel like Christian publishing has gotten caught up in the machine of just like pumping out books, and the quality is just tanked. That's just what I think, okay? But I love Christian fiction. I will always promote it, and I am constantly reading it to try to give you guys the best recommendations. Peyton Arces asks, what are the best and worst books you've ever read? Okay, best books are from these authors that I just said: Francine Rivers, Tammy L. Gray, Nicole Deese, those three. Becky Wade too. I mean, Melissa Coslin, she's good. Terry Blackstock is good. Lynn H. Blackburn is good. Melissa Tague. Like, where are these authors? Publish a book every single year. I want it. But also, don't let the quality go down. So I don't want it. I don't know. Okay, another question. Tabitha Hobby. Popular book I disliked, unpopular book I loved. Okay, popular book I disliked. Anything by Mandy Blake. Hey, love her, you guys. She is a cheesy cowboy romance Christian writer. Some people love her. Way too cheesy for me. I couldn't take it. And then unpopular book I loved. See, I don't want to go there. I'm not here to stir pots. Don't be coming for me, okay? But when I talked about this book on my channel like years ago, people are mad about this book, The Shack. I love this book, and you can't stop me, okay? But do I talk about it anymore? No, because people are upset. But that being said, there's a stinking sequel to The Shack coming out in October, and I got an ARC for it. An e-ARC from NetGalley. So get ready, because I'm going to reread The Shack and then read this sequel for sure. Another one that is trying to stir the pot, but it's not, I know. Okay, Amber's Bible Nook asks, a lot of historical Christian fiction is set in the US. Is that hard / frustrating / difficult when you're Canadian, and do you understand the history and whatever? American history influenced Canadian history quite a bit. We had to learn a little bit about American history to like understand how it influenced Canada. America, you guys are a powerhouse. We already know that. And Canada, I don't know why we just are not there. Like, and I mean, that's a whole thing about politics, like whatever. A lot of the books that I've read have actually taught me a lot about American history. So no, it doesn't bother me just because I'm used to it. Okay, Lisa, asking a difficult question. If I had to stop reading all books forever, except from 3 authors, which would I keep? But I actually already have my answer, because I was like, actually, that's not as hard as you would think. So number 1, Francine Rivers. Even if she never published again, I would have to keep my access to her books forever. So Francine Rivers. Lynn H. Blackburn, 100% yes. I think I'll say Nicole Deese. Another question from Peyton. Do you prefer classics or newer books? Not classics, for sure. But there's certain classics that I'm dabbling in. Okay, Michaela Joy asks, any sci-fi recommendations? Now, if you want a Christian sci-fi, I have less of those. For not Christian sci-fi, The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, pretty good. I would stand behind those. They're a young adult sci-fi, so that's fun. For Christian sci-fi, there's not really many that are good, that are actually like interesting. Not even just interesting, well written. You know, that's all I got. Yeah. Oh, this one's fun, by Marcia. If you could live in one of your favorite books, which one would it be and why? So like live in, that's tricky because I don't want to live in anything historical for sure. So it would be contemporary. And by the way, my arm's feeling much better. It's still stiff, but I can do this. And now it hurts a little bit. I gotta be really slow and gentle. Anyways, you know what? I want to live in a Lynn H. Blackburn book and be friends with all the people, and then they can introduce me to their single male friends that are also law enforcement. And I'd be happy with that. Her next question is, what is the weirdest book you've ever read? What is the weirdest book I've ever read? Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you. The Last Sin Eater by Francine Rivers was the weirdest book I've ever read by her, and I didn't like it that much. So that's what I'm gonna say. That's why it's not in the book club, because I don't want to read it again. Okay, that's not going back in. Okay, Olivia Gold asks, which author would you love to be friends with in real life? I love this question. Author? That's something. I'm gonna say Nicole Deese because I follow her on Instagram and she just looks like a really sweet, kind woman that would be nice to me and would want to be my friend. So I'm gonna say Nicole Deese. Okay, Leah492 asks, what are my favorite tropes? And most of the time, if there's a romance that says they were best friends and then, I guess a second chance romance with friends to lovers, love. Usually fake dating is a buzzword, although it's usually poorly executed. You might hear people outside. I do like a workplace romance, so if they work together or they're on some kind of quest together or a mission or a project, I like that because it's like forced proximity. And then anything that is like snowed in, stuck somewhere, stormed in, whatever, where, yeah, again, the forced proximity piece, I like that. Okay, Marcia asked, how do you determine your ratings? Do books start at 5 stars and then subtract, or do they start from 0 and go up? Good question. You know what? When I was thinking about this, I think that books start at 3 stars and then they go up and down from there. So a 3-star book to me means this author wrote a book, the writing was there, it had a story in it, but I wasn't interested. There's nothing like wrong with the, like wrong in terms of like against my convictions or whatever in the writing or the content or the storyline, characters, whatever. I do think that all books start at 3 stars for me and then they can go up to 4 or 5 or down to 2 or 1. I mean, I rarely give 1 stars, but I do give 2. And yeah, so that's that. And if they never move out of that, like, you wrote a book and it exists, good for you, it stays at 3 stars. So that's what 3 stars mean to me. It means it wasn't for me, but maybe it's for someone else. Okay, Jolly Joy Rose asked, how do you get yourself out of a reading funk? And so this is like, to me, a reading slump, reading funk, whatever. So I get it. And I've been there. I find that I just keep trying to read books until I find one that I like again, because, or one that at least entertains me enough for me to finish it. What I do here, like, I can't just stop reading. Like, I could if I wanted to, but that would not go well for my content. So because I constantly think like I need to be reading a book, I just keep reading one until I find one that I like or that keeps my interest. And that's how I do it. So I know that's like not really helpful because a lot of people say just like ride the wave, let it happen, don't read for a bit, but I can't just do that. And I'm fine with that. Like, I want to keep reading. Reading is a hobby. I love reading. I want to just always be finding books. And it actually inspires me to either try an author that I've never tried or try a genre that I've never tried or that it's been a while. Cindy Stevens asks, where do I get books from and can I vlog it sometime? So I'd absolutely love to vlog it sometime, but yeah, like I said, I get most of my books from the library. I use my Libby app for audiobooks and ebooks, and then my local library for physical books. And luckily, thank you Jesus, that I live in a district that has a great Christian fiction selection. Often, if I request them to order a Christian fiction book, they will bring it in. So that's really awesome, and that's how I get to read so many books. New releases too, like I do use NetGalley and I do have publishers that send me books, but not a ton. I do have access to a Christian bookstore that has a pretty great used section. So I've been there before in some of my videos, but not in a while. So I do plan to vlog going there sometime, and I do buy books occasionally and even full price sometimes. Like, I'll pre-order a book if I know I love the author or I want to support the author, or I have the budget to buy a book, but I'm just not consistently like buying a ton of books because I don't have the space. I don't want a ton of books. I don't feel like having like a big book collection is something that like matters to me anymore. I've been through that. Books were an idol for me and I had to break that. And so ever since then, I don't ever want to get obsessed with obtaining books and just hoarding them and not reading them or them taking up space or whatever. So the books on my bookshelf I either really loved or I got them for free, and that's why they're sitting there. It doesn't mean I actually loved them, but whatever. Last bookish question is that Christian girl, what is the best way to know if a book is spicy or not before starting it? Again, I check reviews. Goodreads, a lot of people that do put content and spice ratings in their book reviews, so that's really helpful. I also check the description of the book. Sometimes it'll actually say, like, in this spicy romance, the characters, whatever. Obviously, spicy means there's sex in it, so I'm not reading that. Okay, we did it. We're not even... Are we halfway done? I don't know. On to faith questions, okay? And I'm really excited about these ones. Number 1 is being a Christian in Canada. This is from Lauren Jean. She said, I'm curious what it's like being a Christian in Canada. I've heard that it's dark up there. Do you have Christian friends / community, or is it hard to find that? So I grew up going to church. I grew up, mom and my grandma and my great grandma, they were Christians, and they raised us all Christian. I had community that way. And then I went to youth group and I had community that way. When I went to university, that's where it really had to become my faith, because I had to decide, am I going to take myself to church? Am I going to go to these groups and make friends that are Christians? The thing is, in BC, there is a thing called University Christian Ministries, UCM for short, and there is a Christian club on almost every secular university's campus. So I'll just say it doesn't really matter. I went to Vancouver Island University on Vancouver Island in Nanaimo, and that is a secular university, and it had a UCM. So when I found that out, I started going to it, and I actually started going to it in my first year, and I'm still friends with the girls that I met in that group. Some of them aren't Christians anymore, but some of them are, and I still talk to some of them. One of them is my best friend. She had a baby. I see her all the time. It's great. There are places to find Christian community in Canada if you seek it out. There are lots of churches in Canada too. Like, oh, the other question was finding a church. Yes, it was hard. When I moved to this community that I live in now, this city, I church hopped for at least a year, honestly. Like, I went to so many different churches. I tried all of the big ones. I tried every denomination, like so many different ones. And I finally landed on, I go to a Mennonite Brethren church now. I don't care that much what the denomination of my church is. I just want to know, are you teaching biblical values and theology? And I have seen that this denomination happens to do that. Okay, next question. JUBSX asks, how do you keep a constant relationship with God? What are some things that you do during the day to keep it steady? And I'll just kind of like talk about my relationship with God here and keep it brief, but I have been through many crises of faith. Actual like believing that God is real, that what the Bible says is true, and that God cares and loves me, cares about me and loves me, and will speak to me. All of those things were like a big unknown bubble that I was like, honestly, I would say for the majority of my 20s, I was very insecure in every way, like not just with faith, but like in everything. I just really struggled with fear and insecurity. I have worked through so many things with God. He has revealed himself so clearly time after time when I think that he's going to give up on me, when I think that this is it, I've done it, this was the last straw, and he will not forgive me for this. When he forgives me every single time, when he welcomes me back every single time, when he speaks to me through his word, when he, time after time, I finally got it, that Jesus loves me so much. And it's not because I chose him back. It's not because I'm a Christian. It's not because I read my Bible. Jesus loves me because he picked me before I was born. And when I like fully embraced that truth, and I'm like, that is what I believe. Now, no matter what I do in my day, if I know that I made a serious mistake, or I was rude, or I am angry, or I'm judging people in my head, or I'm mean to my sister, or whatever, if I ever like sinned like that in the past, I would think like, now I have to atone for myself. Like, God is mad and I have to seek forgiveness or he won't forgive me. I just know that's not true anymore because God has proven it over and over again. And I finally was like, you know what, God? I'm going to believe you this time. And it took practice. It took practice to not go into my funk again and feel like, great, I'm the worst Christian on this earth. Like, why does God want me? Because I suck so bad. Like, I should know better and I still mess up. Like, what is my problem? So many times, time after time, I've gone through that. And enough times God is like, no, I still love you. No, I'm still happy you're back. Hi, we can be friends. You know, I'm like, okay, like you picked me knowing I sucked, knowing I'm not a nice person, and you still picked me. So that makes me want to be a better person. That makes me want to spend time with Jesus. That makes me want to read my Bible and go to church, because I'm like, people need to know. Like, I didn't know for so long that God doesn't choose me because I chose him. Like, I know it's so simple. Like, God, and I said I was going to be quick. Here I'm not being quick. This is why I don't do Q&As, because I can talk a lot. If you ask me a question, I will answer it. Okay. Anyways, I'm just saying that we choose God because he chose us first, and he chooses us whether we choose him back or not. I believe that. Okay. Not that everyone goes to heaven. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that God's love chooses us well before we even hit this earth. Before we are born, he chooses us. And I believe that. And that is what keeps me steady. That is what keeps me steady throughout my day. If I wake up, start scrolling, go to work, think not one thought about God, I come home and I'm like, hi God, wow, it's been a long day. Didn't even think about you once. I don't shame myself anymore. I'm not covered in guilt over that anymore. I'm just like, God, the day is better with you. Okay, let's try that again. Hello, fill me up. Holy Spirit, come and set me on the straight path again. And he does it every time. He does. So it's really my own thoughts about myself that were holding me back. But I was so trapped for so long, thinking that I had to keep God happy with me, and that is just not it. So yeah. Okay, next question. Lemon Lilac. I love your username. She wants some big sister advice, which I absolutely love. What are the best habits you formed to grow your physical or spiritual health? What is some advice you wish you got as a teen? Love this question. And I mean, it kind of pairs with the question I just answered. Like, just believe that you are so chosen. Like, maybe it's not that special, but it is. God is big enough that every single human on this planet can be chosen by him. I believe that. I believe that God, I mean, this is true. Every single human being on this earth, no matter your race, your language, your culture, country, whatever, God formed you in your mother's womb. You were chosen before you were born. And you live this life walking in the light of Jesus. You just turn your eyes to him every single day and say, Jesus, I'm a sinner. I cannot do this without you. I lay my sin at your feet. Make me clean. Purify me. I am now righteous in your sight. I am walking as a righteous child of God in this day. And it doesn't mean I'm not going to make mistakes. It means you cover over my mistakes. You teach me and you discipline me. And I become a stronger, better, more loving person through this day. And that might sound intense, but it is intense, because in your mental health, like, knowing that you have God on your side, that nothing can stand against you. When you stand for God, nothing can have victory. Like, even if it looks like you fail, like by human standards, maybe, God's standards, no. God's standards, you always win if you're standing with him. As a Christian teen, it is so hard, and I know it is so hard to go to high school and be a Christian in high school, because there's feelings, there's people saying stuff, there's mean people, there's the boys doing rude things, there's the girls gossiping, like whatever. I know that it's hard. God knows that it's hard. He saw the days before you lived them. And I just want you to hold on to knowing that this time is so short and God has a purpose for your day. Even if it looks like nothing happened, just hold on to the truth that God has good plans for you. He loves you, and you don't have to wait until you graduate. You don't have to wait until the day's over, until school's done, whatever. He has beautiful, amazing gifts for you now. If you just if you just love Jesus with all your heart and let him love you back, like, life is good. It really is. Even when it sucks, life is good. Even when life looks dark and bad, when you get hurt, when people are rude, like the glory of Jesus, the presence of Jesus, nothing can defeat him. Stand in that victory. That's what I would say. The best habits, it takes years, dude. So just don't feel like you have to have it all sorted now. Okay, I'm 32, okay? And I can say these things now. Could I say them a year ago? Could I say them 10 years ago? A million years ago? No, okay? I'm saying them right now. And 10 years from now, when I'm 42, I'm gonna be like, girl, look at how much we learned, how much we grew. Like, don't be mean to yourself in this time as well. You're learning and you're growing, and God gives so much space and grace for you to learn and grow. So you're okay. Okay, onto the Bible. Favorite book of the Bible, Hebrews. I love Hebrews. That's all I'll say. Favorite Bible verse? Yeah, probably the Hebrews 13. Hebrews 13? Is that right? I should probably know my favorite verse, but it's the one where, okay, let's pick one that I actually know. Psalm 27. Psalm 27 I memorized during a very difficult time, but I would just repeat to myself, the Lord is my light and my salvation. The Lord is my light and my salvation, and just like repeat that to myself. And there you go. Okay, Nicole Walker asks, how do you study the Bible? And / what is God teaching you in this season? How I study the Bible is I read it, and I have a Bible that has a life application part in it. And so I read those life application parts. And then honestly, you learn a lot from a lot of sermons. I listen to a lot of podcast sermons, and I watch them on YouTube. And that's how I learn stuff. Basically, like theologians / pastors, I listen to their teaching, and everything that I've learned about the character of God, I run it past what I hear. Wait, what? The stuff that I hear in the sermons and whatever, I apply it to like, what do I know about God? What do I know about his character and what I've read in the Bible? Does it match up? If it doesn't, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I agree with that. If it does, I'm like, great, I'm validated. If it doesn't match up and I'm like, what does that mean? I think about it and I research it more. Okay, next question. Tara Regan in his image. Dating as a Christian and having solo hobbies. And do you feel pressure to put yourself out there? Okay, a little singleness talk here. I'm single. I have been single for a long time. There was a little bit of time where I was seeing a guy, and I was like, this is it. This is it. And then it wasn't. So that was tough. Yeah, that was really tough. That was just last year, guys. It was just last year. And yeah, I'm being silly, but it was really tough. It was really tough. Okay. So I just have to say, I don't date. Okay? I do not date, meaning I don't go on dating apps. I don't tell my friends, hey, I want to date someone, like set me up. What I do instead is I say, Jesus, Lord God, I want to be a wife and a mother. I want a godly husband to be in my life. God's the only one who knows who you're going to marry. And he is the one who can make it happen. So trust him. He knows the desires of your heart. And if you have a lot of solo hobbies, it's hard. But the thing is, it's not too hard for God. So you do exactly what you love to do. Dive into your hobbies. Love your hobbies. Go to church. Serve in church. Okay? Truly, church. That's what I think. / maybe your job. If you think like there's no men in this church for me to be with, God can bring a man the next day. Like, it's not too hard for God. So don't think that way. Think I'm going to church for my spiritual growth. I love the hobbies that God has placed. Like, the desires in my heart are, I love to read and make videos by myself. That's okay. You don't have to like try to like something that you don't actually like just to meet someone. So that's what I think. You don't have to be on dating apps. And I'm not saying anything bad about people who do these things, but you don't have to be set up. God will make it happen when it's supposed to happen. There's nothing you do. He brings it to your life. You just follow him. You do the things that are like the doors that are open in front of you, walk through those doors, say yes to things, but don't force yourself. Like, it's okay. And also, being single is not the worst thing in the world. Okay? It's not that bad. I will say, being single isn't that bad. It's actually great. Can I just say that? Like, being single is great. So enjoy it. Love Jesus with all your heart. Go to church. Be kind to people. Make friends. And it'll happen. I do believe that. And that's what I'm doing for myself. So I'm not on apps. I don't like try to date a lot. I don't date every guy I meet. I don't date every guy that's interested in me. I watch them. I watch what their character is. I watch, is this even a man that I want to spend time with? Is he cute? Does he like brush his hair? And does he get himself to church? If there is no to any of those things, minus the brush hair part, I don't care that much. Yeah, I don't care that much. Then maybe, but it's rare. But I'm okay with that. I really am, because I'm happy. I have a really good life. And yes, I want to be a wife and a mom. I really do. But God knows that, and he knows the work that I'm doing now, and he'll change it when the time is right. That's what I believe. Okay, now for like just random personal questions and like fitness. Actually, I'll do fitness. Okay, Shanae asks, what's your fitness routine? Do you follow a plan? What types of workouts do you like? Healthy meals, all the things. Yes, I got really into fitness when I was probably 21, I want to say, or even 20 or 21. Before that, like as a teenager, I played soccer growing up, so I was always into running, but my diet was not good. So I wasn't like super fit, and I was sick of that. And I was sick of my big gut. So I had a gut, okay? And I mean, I still do, but it's not as big as it used to be. I, first of all, had to tell myself, I am doing this for the health of my body. I am caring for my body. And that is my main mindset. Anytime I go into a workout, I want to be healthy. I want to live a long life. And that is why I work out. Okay. Plus I like looking good. So there you go. So my workout plan is, I used to follow, oh, and I think, yeah, you know what? Fitness. Okay. Lots of people asked about this. I won't say certain people, but, so I used to follow, first of all, I started with Fitness Blender. I don't know if they still make videos. I unsubscribed from them because I don't use their stuff anymore, but Fitness Blender, I started with HIIT workouts. Yeah, that was tough. I'm not going back to that, but I started with HIIT workouts, and then I discovered Caroline Germain. Her strength training workouts were a game changer. I got so into weightlifting. I used to just run. I used to do cardio only, and I had really sore knees from that. My knees are not very strong, I guess because of soccer and everything. Like, my knees don't like that. So I was like, how do I strengthen myself? And oh, you lift weights. So I used to follow Caroline a lot. I'll link her channel down below. I even got her app. She came out with an app and I used it for a year. I love her workouts, but I've done her workouts for like 5 years. So I learned a lot from her, and now I just do my own thing. I do different muscle groups every single day. I know all the moves that I like. I know the moves that work on my body, and I do those moves, and I just have in my head like, okay, today's a leg day, today's an arm day, today's cardio, whatever. And I do that. So that's how I do that. And then for healthy meals, I've also had to train myself not to crave junk food. And it took years to do that as well, but I slowly did it. Basically, I just had to like really get in touch with my body and feel how I feel after I eat junk food. When I would eat a bunch of ice cream or stuff myself so that I'm stuffed, like it doesn't even have to be bad food, but I just like would eat until I was stuffed. Almost every single meal I would eat and not stop. And then my tummy would hurt and I'm like, I ate too much. I stopped doing that. Time after time, when I would be like, I have a stomach ache. Oh, I feel sick. Oh, why did I eat so much? Oh, my head hurts because of all that sugar or whatever. I finally was like, that's enough. I have a choice here. Is the 5 seconds of a good taste in your mouth worth the pain that your body feels later? It's not. It's not for me. So I was able to control myself that way. So that's the thing. I don't struggle with cravings, I will admit. So I know that a lot of people struggle with cravings, and I'm so sorry for that. And I don't have good tips because I just don't. I'm really sorry. The only thing I crave is coffee. Okay, hence why I literally have one on tap at all times. So this is my guilty pleasure. I do love cookies. Cookies are my favorite dessert, but I just don't buy them so that I don't eat them. Random fun facts. First of all, how tall are you? I am 5'5", 5'5". Okay. Team Edward or Team Jacob? Yes, I was a twihard. Okay. I'm a millennial. I loved Twilight. Okay. And to be honest, I liked Jacob, even in the books. I did. Okay. I loved Edward in Twilight, but Edward the rest of the time, I was like, Bella, I would pick Jacob if I were Bella. So, I mean, for Bella, Team Edward, but for myself, like Team Jacob, even before the movies. Yes, for the movies, okay, because Taylor Lautner, shout out, but still. Then he gets super fit and hot and turns into a wolf? Sign me up, okay? Okay, question. Will you ever go back to teaching? Yes, I was a classroom teacher for 3 years. That's what my degree is in, education. That's what I wanted to be for my whole life. As a kid, as a teen, I was like, I'm going to be a teacher and I'm going to love it. And I'm going to be a teacher for the rest of my life and I'm going to retire as a teacher. I'm not a teacher anymore, okay? And that's another question. Do you have a job outside of YouTube? Yes, I do, okay? I left teaching in 2021 and I got this new job that I have now in 2022. So I did have a period of time where I was unemployed. That was terrifying, scary, really tough. I could definitely talk about that because I was so lost, so upset, so angry at God, all the things. But teaching was rough on me. I do not have the social battery to be a teacher. I don't have the classroom management to be a teacher, nor the will to have those things. So it was just a bad combination. I love kids. I love being with them. I love teaching them. I love being around them, honestly. But teaching really killed that. And I actually hated kids for a little bit after I left teaching. I wanted nothing to do with them. I hated the sound of children. And I didn't want to be in church around kids. I didn't want to do Sunday school, nothing. I was like, I am never teaching kids ever again. Like, that's how bad it was. So no, I probably won't go back. I mean, I'll never say never, okay? But not for a while. I don't really see that in my future unless something crazy happens, but I doubt it. I think it was just my stepping stone, and now God has me in a much better place. So now I work for a Christian organization thing, a Christian thing, and I'm much happier. It's very fulfilling. And how's the new home? Yes, my sister and I bought this house that I live in now, and I'm in my bedroom, and it's amazing and beautiful and wonderful and perfect, and we're very, very blessed. And God is good. He's so kind, and we love our new house. Absolutely love it. How many siblings do you have? I have 3. I'm the oldest. I have 3 younger siblings, 2 sisters and a brother. The cat that you saw in my Haley fam video, the Just Friends video, I was cat sitting. We were considering adopting him, but he really didn't work for us. He did not mesh well with our home / our lifestyles. So we were like, it's not good if we keep him. So we gave him back when the owner came back, and that was that. His name was Megs, M-A-G-S. I say Megs. I know some people say Mags, but Canadian is Megs. So question, how did Cassandra and I decide to finally buy this house? Super big God story. It's kind of a long story, I guess, but I've been saving my whole life for a house. That was kind of like my big thought in my head. Like every paycheck, I'm like, I'm saving for a house. That's what I'm doing. And I don't know that it's ever possible that I'll buy a house, but I'm going to do it. And thank you to my past self, because here we are. Everything is super random, but it's not, because it's God. So God had us book a bank appointment. The bank said you can afford to buy a house. We booked an appointment with a realtor, found houses we liked, found this complex, found this house, done. We started looking at the beginning of November, or actually more so beginning of October. It took us 2 months to find this house. Done. Got it. moved in at the end of February. Here we are. Crazy. Like, only God could have done it. We just kind of were like, okay, like, we didn't chase this. We didn't fight for it. We were like, God's opening the doors and we're walking through them. That's literally it. Like, it's crazy, but he's provided all along the way and it's amazing. So again, he's so faithful and kind and I'm blessed. Okay, I like this question. When work has been a lot and you come home, what helps you open your book versus doom scrolling on the couch? Let me be real honest. I usually doom scroll, okay? And actually, I don't doom scroll. I watch YouTube. I love YouTube with a burning passion. I watch YouTube videos every single day. I'm on YouTube every single day. Not even just for my own videos, but because I like to watch videos. I like to watch YouTube videos. So unless I'm reading a book that I really like, the motivation that I have to read books is because I have a Booktube channel. That's literally it. I would not nearly read as much if I was not doing this because I would totally get sucked into watching YouTube. So it's a good thing that I have a Booktube channel. Otherwise, I would doom scroll. So I feel your pain. And maybe find a hobby that doesn't allow you to doom scroll. That's all I can say. Did we do it? No, we didn't. There's a whole bunch more. Whole bunch? I mean, yeah. Favorite things to do for fun. Now that it's nice out, I love gardening. I love plants. I love flowers. So I'm gonna garden after this actually because it's sunny out and I'm gonna go garden. So definitely love gardening. I love exercising. I love... Favorite season is summer for sure. And dream vacation, I went to Mexico for the first time in March. I was amazed. Mexico is beautiful. The people are so kind and friendly. I had a great time. So is Mexico my dream location? Okay, I liked this question. What's the most random thing in your handbag right now? But the thing is, it's downstairs. But I have my backpack here. But there's actually, is there even anything in it? Ha! I have a clicker because I use clickers for work. Is that random enough? Yeah, that's about it. Do you have a guilty pleasure TV show you love to watch? Yes, I do. Singles Inferno on Netflix. Singles Inferno is a Korean dating show, and I am 100% entertained by that show, and I watch it every single season. I think there's been like 5 seasons now. I've watched it since the beginning, and I love it. So that is my guilty pleasure. Coke or Pepsi? I don't drink pop, and I don't like either Coke or Pepsi. Fave or most used emoji? Probably my favorite one is the smiling one with the 3 hearts. But I have been liking this one lately, and then I like the yellow heart, and I do like the skull emoji, I'll admit it. I film with my phone, so I can't actually check. So, okay, and then last question is something that God is revealing to me recently, and that is from Kate Henry. Yeah, something that he's been revealing to me. He allows us to go through suffering, and then he also brings us into blessing. And I've been through suffering in my life. There's been different seasons where I'm like, God, I don't see your hand in my life. Like, where are you? And there's times when I'm like, it is so obvious how much God is working in my life. Seeing right now that he loves me so much, and that things that are still not what I wish they were. Just that there's so much grace for me to have those conflicting feelings, and then also to just trust him. He's giving me the power to trust him. He's giving me the will to trust him with my life. And I'm just more and more blessed every single day. I know that suffering is inevitable, but that there's just so much joy in his presence that no matter what's happening, and I only can say that right now because I'm not super suffering right now. Like, I will say my arm, and is that even suffering? Like, okay, I hurt myself. I'm going to be okay. And I did go to physio, and it helped so much, and he gave me exercises to do, and it's definitely like feeling way better, and I can see that I am going to heal fully. So that's nice. And I even went to the doctor and like confirmed that everything's going to be fine. So I'm really thankful for that. And just seeing how God is looking out for me and seeing his work in my YouTube channel. And I'm just so utterly convinced that Jesus is the way for me. He's the life for me, and he's the truth. And no matter what is going on in this world, that Jesus is so in control, and God has already made peace with this world, and he is carrying out his perfect plan. He gives us free will, and that means terrible things can still happen, but they're not beyond God's will and God's ability to turn it for good. We're not here just to like be filled with pleasure and then die. Like, we're here to fight the good fight for Jesus, to build his kingdom. And there is sin and corruption and evil in this world that we have to fight. Like, we don't get to just like skip around having a la-di-da-di time. Like, we're in a battle. We are. That means we're going to hit suffering because of that. Like, the economy is going to crash. People are going to hate us. There's going to be policies that are so anti-Jesus that are like, how did we get here? Like, what happened? But Christianity is still spreading. Christianity is still, Jesus is still so powerful. Like, we're still here. We survived so many terrible things already. And the name of Jesus still stands true. Like, who would have thought? I know this was a very long video, and I just appreciate you guys being here. I feel like I'm losing my voice. I'm going to go outside and enjoy the sun. And I just want to say thank you. And if I missed your question, I'm so sorry. And thank you for watching this. And I love my YouTube channel. And if you watched to the end, like, hello, thank you. I hope that you know that I'm really doing this for you to know Jesus better, to be drawn to him, to want to know him. I really hope that that's what happens here. I really do. So thank you guys. Thank you. I'm tired. My energy is officially empty. So I need to sign off, but thank you for being here. Yeah, I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye. I'm gonna close my door and start. Yeah. Okay, love you, bye.